It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans here, checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a in the crowd, go wild, man. Down, know we got wild in the crowd, go wild, man. Down, know we got live.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the man that runs this show, because it is my show. It is the debate show. It's 3 Count Podcast. It's Chaz and Friends. All right, I'm your host, the Don Chaz Evans, the Capital Region's best kept secret, the guy that has the hottest takes in all of professional wrestling. Now, let me introduce to you the man that's going to go one-on-one with me today inside the debate circle. We're still working on that. Anyway, let me introduce to you my friend, all right? He is the man that really runs the 3 Count Podcast. I'm just the figurehead, all right? This is just so we can write it off as a taxes as a black-owned business, okay? I promise you. He runs everything. Now, he is the Red Dog of Red Dogs. He is the landlord of the Dog Pound. He was on a 3-city tour this past weekend out there grinding in the wrestling world. And guess what? He has no results for us. But ladies and gentlemen, we still love him anyway. He is the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
Hey, yes, it's the Intel specialist. You know, the Air Force veteran, Intel specialist, the one you call on when you can get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. Listen, man, I've been on a 3-city tour, okay? I am tired. I am tired. I'm exhausted. Did not get the intel about what happened at Voltage or IWL or, DWA, Delta Wrestling Alliance. I appreciate everybody for having me on the shows, but I'll definitely make it a point to reach out to those guys and be like, hey, whenever you have shows going on and I am not a part of them, send me your results and I'll read them out. And that goes for anybody else who's a part of this show or just goes and listens to it. Or maybe you just happen to stumble across this by accident, which is totally cool. But if you have the results, send them to me. You can DM them and we'll read them out for the Indy Spotlight, because we definitely want to feature more indie shows and talk about those shows kind of like we have for our bigger ones, right? For like WWE, AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, all those places. So we definitely want to give the big shout outs to all the fans that are running. But if you have results, send them our way. We'll read them on the air.
Yeah, so definitely send us your results. But yeah, how was the 3-city tour, Red Dog? Since we got a little time here, how was it? Tell me about it. How I know you're tired. And the funny thing about it is, I was with you the day of day one of your 3-day tour, and you were already tired. All right, because a lot of people don't know. If you don't know, me and Red Dog, Red Dog's my personal trainer, guys. If you're in the area, in the Baltimore area, definitely hit him up. He's like that. He's real, because guess what? My quads are still on fire from leg day, and that was Thursday. So, yeah. So I was with him Thursday, and you were tired from off right then and there, and that was around beginning like midday. So. How did you make it for 3 days?
Yo, it's insane though, right? Because my first clients usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, right? They show up at it's like 6 a.m. So I have 6 a.m., 7 a.m.s, and then I go home, I go take care of my pup, right? Let her out, and then I'm back at 10 a.m. and I run from 11, 3, 5, and 6 p.m. right? So I had to move all my clients on a Thursday over to my Wednesday. So I ended up training 7 people on Wednesday, and then got up at 6 a.m. again to run for a 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and then a 10, and then you came in at 2, and yeah, man, it was exhausting, because then I had to go all the way out, then turn around and come all the way back, right? So I went out to Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Shout outs to Voltage Wrestling. Got to have an incredible match with Beastman. That was fun, and then I came back and passed out at 1 a.m. My dog decided to wake me up at 3 a.m. because she was like, I have to go outside and I want to play. I'm like, I don't have time to play. I just want to get some rest. And so then at 5 a.m. I get up for a 6 a.m. Or 4:30 in the morning I get up for a 6 a.m. session. Do the 6 a.m. session, 7 a.m. Then I had a 10, and I drove out I came home, passed out for a quick hour, then took off and went to fucking IWL. So I work a match at IWL, pass out, or drive home, pass out at like 1 a.m. again, get up at 9 because I finally get some real sleep because it's Saturday, only to have Sicken send me a message, was like, hey, we got to be at DWA at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. and I need you here at 11 a.m. And I was like, damn it, because I call times at 1. I was like, damn it. So we take off, and like I gotta work another match. So yeah, the 3-city tour, the 3-city loop was definitely a little exhausting. It was a lot of fun though. Get to meet like a lot of different people. Get to reunite with some people that I haven't seen in a long time. You know, big shout outs to RJ as well as Zach. Getting to see those guys again because I haven't seen them in a little bit. But yeah, it was definitely a grind. And when they say wrestling is grind, this is just a small taste of it. But I was like, damn, bro, like I don't know if I want to really do this for like every single day, unless like it's really like I don't know, man. It was rough, but hey, I see like WWE's out here like grinding like 220 days out of the year, and I'm like, I did this for 3.
I did this for 3, and this is for the birds.
Yeah. 2 is possible. Like I could run 2, right? We did like a Friday, Saturday thing. Like, yeah, I can handle that because at least I know I'm going into a weekend, but a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like, whoa. I don't even know if I want to do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I was just about to say. I was just about to say. Even a 2-day Saturday, Sunday is rough on the body. I mean, I've done a Saturday, Sunday 2-day loop. Speaking of, one of those shows was SCWA. I love how every time when we mention SCWA, here comes Keith showing up with he's just right there. It's like his alarm. He's like the bat signal, and he's
right.
Like, they're mentioning SCWA. Let me make sure I get on the Chaz and Friends. Shout out to Keith, promoter SCWA out in West Virginia. But yeah, being that West Virginia was my first loop, and then coming back to Maryland, but being that it was PG Maryland, PG County, which is about 45, maybe an hour out from the Baltimore region where we're centered at. But yeah, even a 2-day loop is kind of rough on the body. I was getting there for that show, was just like, what are we going to do?
Yep. and then like you're working with all like the cool talent, right? And you're just having to adjust like constantly because like my first match was with Beastman, right? So I'm working with this like vet and having a lot of fun, learning from him. And then the next night I'm working with Alex Lawson, who's been out the game for like 2 to 4 years, is what he was like saying. So like, you're working with that. And then the next night you're working with like Sicken, right? Who's been in for like 13 plus years. And it's like, you're just constantly like having to change and bounce between it. When we were doing C3W and doing SCWA, like I had just got done working with Ron, and then the next day we're here at C3W and I'm working with Ron and Darius Carter, and I'm like, man, like just the mind, I don't want to say numbness, but like the anxiety that comes with like you got to change like every single way. Like when they say you have to be a versatile worker, like there's no joke in that game. Like you
absolutely.
Really have to learn everything to kind of like be at the sharpness of the game. It is tough.
It is. It definitely is. I can definitely attest to that one. But yeah, shout out to you, man, hitting that 3-day loop. Shout out to you out there doing the grind of a pro wrestler. So definitely
this weekend, man. This weekend we have 2 big shows coming up this weekend. I want to throw big shout outs to that.
We do. We're gonna get to that in a few. But I gotta get through. I gotta get through some order of businesses that I gotta get through before we get started. So if you have not already done so, I'd say it every week. You should probably already follow us. But for those of you who are new to Chaz and Friends, all right, look down at the bottom. Right there. There's all of our social medias. All right. You can follow us, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. You see it right there. For all of our podcast listeners, our audio listeners, it's 3count_pod at Twitter, and then 3count_pod, all one word on everything else. Like us on Facebook at the 3count podcast. Give us a 5-star Frog Splash review off the top of the scaffolding this week, off the scaffolding this week. All right. On Apple Podcasts. Give us a like and a share on Spotify. And you can follow us on all podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podcoin, wherever you get your podcast loins going. All right, whatever works your podcast fancy, we're on there. Definitely give us a like and a follow. Share it to your friends. Thank you for all of our YouTube watchers, our Facebook watchers, our Twitch watchers, everyone who's tuned in live right now. All right, we want to thank you, appreciate you. So definitely hit that subscribe button on whatever video platform you are watching us on. Same thing for Spotify, because I gotta remember you can watch the video on Spotify. Gotta remember that. But definitely, yeah, give us a subscribe, a follow. I think that's everything as far as our social medias. So buy a shirt, okay? Buy a shirt, Pro Wrestling Tees /3 Count Pod. All right. Buy it now, because guess what? It might not be there next week. Okay. I said it last week, but it's still here. But you never know. I might be telling you the truth this week. So get a shirt. Buy a shirt. Pro Wrestling Tees /3 Count Pod. It's the number 3. You know the drill. Don't type in THREE. If not, follow the Red Dog. I don't know. We don't normally do this, but follow Red Dog. All right, on all social media platforms. Was it at the Red Dog 85? Am I correct?
Yes.
Cool.
Red Dog 85.
And then you can follow me on everything at Chaz_the Dawn. All right. And yeah, tell us what you think about the show. Tell us what you think about us. If you think we suck, tell us. Please. If you think we suck, tell us. Because guess what? We probably do suck, and your opinion matters to us. Not really. So, with that being said, we're going to go to the Indy Spotlight, even though Red Dog failed for the second week of the Indy Spotlight. But I got it.
We read him out last week.
Exactly. So this is the second
week.
It was the first time that we introduced it. Yeah, but the second
you totally just made it sound like I just dropped the ball 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that, then. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. No.
Somebody in the comment just write that in, like, yo, he dead ass, like, he just
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. No. I didn't mean it like that. But any spot, well, you can give the one on Saturday. I'll give the show I'm on. So this Saturday, in Riverside, New Jersey, for all of my New Jersey fans out there, the Pure Ignorance, okay, myself, Noah Idol, and Prince Machiavelli will be in the building, okay, in Riverside, New Jersey. I saw what he said, and I'm ignoring him. We'll be there, Riverside, New Jersey, for Orochi Pro Wrestling. It's their first ever show, brand new promotion in the New Jersey area. So if you are a fan of professional wrestling in the New Jersey area, there is a lot of you. So definitely come out and show some support. Pure Ignorance is facing the Kelly, and it's not Kelly who you think it is. It's the Kelly twins. And Noah's in a 6-pack scramble with Andino, Atron. I forgot who else, but he's in that match. So definitely check out Orochi Pro Wrestling this Saturday. Yeah, if you want to buy your tickets early at Eventbrite, you can buy them now. If you use the promo code Ignorance, I'm going to give you 15% off. Or is it 5%? I don't know.
I really hope that it's 15.
I hope it's 15 too. I hope it's 15 too.
Because you start off with like 5% off. Wait, is it 5 or is it 15?
I don't know.
15 or is 5? Fans are gonna be like, yo, but Chaz said it was 15.
Listen, if I told you wrong, if it's not 15 and it's wrong, come to the show. I'll buy your ticket.
Yeah.
I'll buy your ticket.
Cutting that out. I'm just putting that part. Just nothing else. Come to the show. I'll buy your ticket. That's the only thing.
Courtesy of Orochi Pro Wrestling and the booker there, because I know him. Anyway, go on, Cliff. Indy Spotlight. There's another show on coming up this Saturday that the 3 Count Podcast is involved in.
Yeah, it's crazy how like with these last couple, like the next couple shows, you and I will be like going to different shows, but this one in particular, when we're talking
crazy, weird.
Yeah, it is super weird.
Weird.
Rage in the Cage in Bel Air, Maryland. You guys can check it out. It's going to be part of the Bel Air Armory, and I think bell time's at 6:30, if I remember right. I gotta go double check, but you guys go check it out. We'll be there. I'll be in the Rage in the Cage match itself. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll definitely have a blast. And Team Rico is going to go out there and beat Team Skylar's ass. So you guys need to go check it out, because that's where I'm going to be. And if we don't win, Chaz will buy your ticket at Orochi.
Wait a second. No, I didn't say that. I I didn't say that. I saw your squad. I'm not betting money on your squad.
I mean,
I'm
it
putting
was
money on you.
supposed to be pure ignorance, but they got booked somewhere else.
Well,
it's
with
weird.
that being said, make sure if you're in the Bel Air, in the DMV area, if you want to check out some wrestling in the DMV area, well, not DMV area, but the Maryland Delmarva region, definitely hit up EWA in the Bel Air Armory, my castle. All right, I've claimed that castle as mine in the name of the Dawn. So definitely check that out. I'm on a roll today, man. And if you're in, like I said, in Riverside, New Jersey area, check out Orochi. Put the code in online. It's ignorance. If it's not 15%, I'll buy your ticket. So with that,
hey, I know that. I know normally, but I wouldn't say you should really start running with that. Like in the name of the Chaz, the Dawn, and the Grappl's best region wrestler. Like I think that's the thing you should do. I think you should do that.
In the name of Chaz, the Dawn, and the Grapple region, it's Duffin season. Oh, snaps!
Right here, you guys just saw something pop on the
That's crazy. Everyone has been giving me crazy. We'll get started. I promise y'all, we'll get started on the show. Me and Cliff will start running our gums. I didn't get to talk to him before the show today, so we're kind of catching up while we're live. But crazy enough, I had somebody give me a cool idea for a move in the ring today at church. And at first I go, wait, huh? And as we're talking about it, like, yeah, you do that. And I go, yo, that's fire. And like he's kind of a wrestling fan too. So me and him are like legit, we're marking it out. Now, like, yeah, you go that way and now you go there. And I'm like, yo, that could work. So today's a good day. I got a cool move. I'm gonna definitely do that at Orochi. I'm gonna say that in my promo in the name of the Dawn. Chat. Now, is it the Chaz of the Dawn or is it in the name?
Yeah, I would do in the name of the Chaz, the Dawn, and the Grapple.
In the name of Chaz,
the wrestler,
the Dawn. I gotcha.
That would definitely. I like
region. That. Gotcha. Yeah. Anthony, listen, man. I love you too, bro. But you grind my gears.
That's not this segment.
That's not this segment. Damien's not here yet. That was a perfect segue. Damien. Darn. All right, let's get on the temp check, man. Temp check. All right, for those of you, me explain to you the rules for temp check. So temp check is this, where we give you our hottest and or our coldest wrestler going into this week. So, Red Dog, what you got for me this week? Temp check.
You know what? I'm gonna take my hottest wrestler of the week, and I'm just gonna be 100, man. It's gonna be none other than Seth Rollins, because that guy, for some reason, just seems to just have everybody's number, and everybody's always talking about this man. And low key, like he's set up for this month, man. Like the Rumble's coming up. I know everybody's talking about Cody, but hey, man, like Seth's putting in that work. And I think this week it kind of showed when he was doing all this thing. So I'm gonna go with Seth on this one.
You going with Seth? Seth's not a bad pick. Seth is not a bad pick, and Seth's been killing it for the better part of a year and a half, legitimately consistently. I went back on so I can fish you off face to face. Yeah, whatever, man. I believe him when I see it. My hottest, yeah, like Seth's been consistently. Seth has been killing it. I said a year and a half, but I want to give him the past 2 years, 3 years. I'm going on 3. Really since the pandemic. Really, I think Seth has just been driving it home. As far as just in ring. Character work, just promo, everything. Just Seth Rollins is just the total package. I still think he's one of the best wrestlers on planet Earth, and if not one of the best, he is the best. But yeah, Seth's a good pick. I'm gonna go the other route. I'm gonna go with somebody from AEW this week, and I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. Bryan, and it's just the one thing that Bryan is good at. Bryan Danielson and it's funny because I noticed it this past week is very good at the subtle things, the stuff that that you don't really catch because it's so subtle, and it's just like you just automatically assume. And whether it's psychology wise, whether it's just his facial expressions, how he carries Bryan Danielson, the wrestler inside the ring, it's bar none. That's just one of the best. And I think going into this week, Bryan Danielson is on a tear. He's on a tear. He's been on a tear since coming back, since he's been challenging MJF for the title. The matches he's been putting on the past couple weeks have been absolutely fire. Is that an invite? I don't run this show, so anybody can show up on this show. You don't need an invite, really.
Yeah.
As long as you got.
you do. You gotta come to me though.
But as long
out the link.
But here's the thing, right? As long as you got a link, right, you're in. Ain't that right?
That's usually how it works. I mean, I could keep you in the waiting room if I wanted to. Like, you don't necessarily.
That's true. That's true. All right, coldest wrestler. Who you got?
Real quick. You were talking about subtle things that happen, right? And I want to talk about this because this was something that got brought to my attention yesterday, and I thought it was kind of a cool compliment. So, as most of you guys know, I've been doing. Well, Chaz and I actually been doing this for 3 years, right? Actually, Chaz is coming up on his 3rd year. I'm in my, I'm just like a month into my 3rd year. But so anyway, Sicken and I were working last night, right? And I was working his hand, right? Like the hand. And I just I'll peel the curtain back a little bit more for this. But anyway, he was talking about a moment where I took him down to the ground and I pinned his hand down, and then I was gonna stomp on his hand, right? But what I ended up doing was I put my other foot on his hand first before I stomped on it. Because clearly, that's something in wrestling that happens is someone will lay their hand out and they're like, I know this is the spot. I'm just going to get stepped on, so I'll just keep it here. And I just didn't want him to move his hand. So I just put my boot on top of on his wrist and then stomped down with my other hand. And he was like, that's a veteran move that you don't get to see often happen. And when you talk about the subtle things, that was something to me that I thought was cool. And I was like, oh man, I really appreciate it. And at the time when he said it, I was kind of sitting there yeah, okay, cool. But the more I got to thinking about it, I was like, oh shit, no, he's right. That is the little things that makes the bigger picture work better. Even though you could have just stomped it and it would have looked cool, you legitimately took the time to make the little things work more. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. So I don't know, I just want to give myself a Ciampa pat on the back for that, because I was like, cool.
No,
I'm learning something.
That's the exact subtle things I mentioned that I was mentioning as far as Bryan does stuff like that you're not that you're not supposed to catch it right away, but workers like us, we sometimes we'll see the subtle things because we look for that type of stuff. It's wrestling isn't the same for us anymore like it is for everybody else. Once you get into it, I think that's with anything, whether it's sports, you don't especially with football. Even my little JJ, for example, JJ watches football now like he's in the game. But this is because he's been playing football, his entire life. I'm thinking about his entire life. So he doesn't watch football like we may watch football, or someone like myself who wasn't a part of the game, who watches it. But it's the subtle things, and you definitely get 2 claps and a genuine twirl. Woo for that one. But get back on topic. Coldest wrestler of the week. Is it you?
Coldest wrestler of the week.
Wait, question. Did you get a dub this out of this 3-city tour? Did you get a dub?
I did. I got one.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was gonna be an ass and be like, my coldest wrestler of the week, Red Dog. 3-day tour, dang. couldn't get one win. But
couldn't get one win.
But you did. Never mind. You got a dub. Never mind.
All right, but I would say my coldest wrestler of the week. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go with my coldest wrestler of the week, Angel Garza, because where has that man been at? I'm I guess maybe he'll show up at the Rumble. I don't now that I say his name, but I don't remember him getting injured.
Well, he was on SmackDown
this week.
Yeah, him and Humberto Carrillo.
You see how much I paid attention to SmackDown?
They faced off against. Oh, was that the Brawling Brutes? Yes,
Probably, but
no, it was Hit Row. It was Hit Row because Hit Row got the dub in the tag team tournament thing.
dang, that sucks.
Yeah,
So they come back and they only to lose.
yeah,
this
it was
man.
Hit Row because Raw. Right, because Imperium beat the Brawling Brutes, and and McIntyre and Sheamus won. It was 3 tag matches because it was a tournament. So yes, yeah, they were on there. It's funny you said that because my coldest wrestler again was going to come from SmackDown. Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah. You know what? I was talking about it on a live.
It don't do it for me, and I'm not a fan of hers from Jump. So this is the completely unbiased. It has nothing to do with if I like her or not. It's just the stuff that she has been given. It just ain't working, or she's just not working with the stuff that she's given. It's one of the two. I don't want to solely put the blame on creative, and I don't want to solely put the blame on just her. Something or out of the two is
for me to help with that.
No, I don't.
Searching in the Apple Watch app on your iPhone.
Thanks, Siri. I don't need your opinion.
Just try to jump in.
Yeah, quiet down, woman. It's one of the two. Something's not clicking, and I don't know what it is. Like I said, whether it could be both. It could be both parties. It could be bad creative and just her not getting the creative down. It could be both. It could be either or. Coldest wrestler is Raquel. Her getting the dub over Liv just went.
You know what I think it is though?
But is maybe Liv is building Liv up. Maybe that's why I didn't put Liv, because Liv was going to be my coldest wrestler. But I was like, maybe this is just the time for Liv to take those L's. So when the Wyatt 6 pops up, boom, there we are. If that is even in the sphere of the Wyatt verse,
right?
But so I didn't want to put it on Liv. So Raquel, it ain't working, sweetie. It ain't working.
See, I think my problem though is that like Raquel is much better as a heel than she is as a face.
That's the start. I can say that's the start.
When she was on NXT as a heel, I was like, yo, I'm all about this move. And then they made her face, and she had that moment where she, like, her and Rhea and Bianca were all NXT talking about being champions, and that was cool and all, but I'm like, I kind of need Raquel to be a heel again, because, she's lit with that.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. There are 3 boxes, which means only one thing. And then guess what? It ain't Christmas time. It don't mean boxes of presents. That means that the one and the only has emerged from the underworld. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Dark Lord himself. Damien Fatal has arrived. You are
still on mute.
All right. Does that work a little better?
That works a lot better.
All right, cool. Hold on. Let me make sure my audio is correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Damien, everyone. Everyone give a hand clap now. Go.
Oh, wow.
Golf claps.
Hold on.
That's why. Yeah. I think that it's the fact that Raquel as a face it doesn't translate well. I think that's probably one of the primary reasons why the stuff that she's been doing isn't resonating. With not just myself. There are other people I know for a fact who feel the same way, especially on the Twitter app. I'm on there all the time, so I see everything, sadly. So,
but I do. I like heel Raquel like way better than I like face Raquel, because I think that's the thing. Like, and we talk about this all the time, right? You and I, when we're behind the scenes, is that when it comes to heels and faces, right? Like, you're going to be dominant more at one than the other, right? Sometimes you can be like this really, really good, like white meat baby face, or you can be like this amazing heel, but you're going to lean more one way than the other, right? And I think for me, it's watching her, like when I watch her as a heel, I just see her as this big dominant heel who just like destroys everybody. But then I see her as a face, I'm like, I don't really believe you as a face because you're this big dominant person. Like I don't know, man. It doesn't do it for me. I appreciate the fact that she's putting in the work, but I just think that I think having her more transition to like either a tweener or a heel would be way better than have her as just this baby face who's like, hi, yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to beat people up. It's like, nah, you should definitely just be here to just crack skulls, and then anybody who's a face, you should be looking to destroy them. Like Rhea Ripley is doing some of the best work that I've seen her do in a long time, and she's a heel, you know, and when she's that face, it's kind of lackluster. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that one. I agree. I can agree on
Are
that.
Are we talking about teeth?
Teeth.
Talk about teeth.
Oh yeah, so I saw her on Friday, and that smile, man, all I saw was teeth.
Oh my.
I mean, I love her. I love her to death. I hate to be mean. I love her to death, but you're right. Like she needs to be a heel. She's better as a heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's way too freaking happy for me, man.
Yeah. Well, since you're here, Damien, since you're here, temp check. We didn't get temp check. Hottest wrestler and coldest wrestler. You can just give them both.
Oh, okay. Hottest wrestler. I'm gonna still go with Roman.
Okay.
And coldest wrestler. Jericho. Sticking to my guns.
Sticking to the guns. That's fair.
I'm sticking to my guns. Yeah. Jericho. He needs to go away. I can't miss him unless he goes away. I mean, I won't miss him, but
yeah, we know. All right, let's move on to our first debate topic. All right, this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, we saw the heel turn of 5 minutes. Saraya and Toni Storm were it was Toni Storm versus Willow. Actually, shout out to our to the homie Willow Nightingale. They were facing 1-on-1 this past week on Dynamite. At the end of the match, we got the turn of Saraya and Toni Storm. They are now heels, and it was kind of flat. So, with that, the question I'm going to pose to you all is, was the heel turn of Saraya and Toni Storm lackluster? We'll start with you, Damien, since you hate Dynamite.
I'd say it was like 2 months too late. They should have did that when Britt Baker basically turned face when they faced each other. If I'm going to be honest, like that's why it was flat. It was one of those things that organically happened when Saraya first showed up, but like, nah, like it's one of those where it was like, yeah, y'all should have did this like months ago. So yeah, no, it's flat as fuck. Flatter than a 12-year-old.
All righty, so Red Dog, your turn.
Super canceled on that one.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be 100. It did fall kind of flat. Like I liked it, but it also fell kind of flat. Like it's just one of those moments where it's like you have these two baby faces like facing off, and it really just kind of seemed like for no reason Toni turned, right? I mean, I know Saraya was there and stuff like that, but it just the way they lined it up the week before was that it looked like Shida was going to turn, and they tried to swerve us by having Toni and Saraya turn, and it just didn't make sense to me, and it still kind of doesn't make sense. Like, I guess hopefully we'll get an explanation this week on Dynamite. But I was like, yo, to me, it was like, meh.
Yeah.
At this point, like, you know, I think if you're gonna have this big giant feud between Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter, like, why not just turn her heel? If the fans are behind Jamie Hayter, like, if it would have happened, I guess just like Damien said, if it would have happened about a month ago, cool, because you have like this moment where Jamie Hayter is like getting cheered by the fans. You could have turned Toni then and made it work. But now it's like it's a little too late, and it's like you might as well just stuck to your guns, or you could have just kept the surprise and just had Sheeta turn, and then like have Sheeta just kind of be, going on her own, like she's pissed off because she got swerved by Saraya for that tag spot. So it just, to me, it just didn't make sense, and like I still don't fully like. It's not fully interpreting. You know what I mean?
I think so. I think the thing was Tony. I think when Thunder Rosa getting injured and them, shaking the deck up, I think it put them in a bind. I don't think Tony Khan and AEW really expected for the crowd to pop for Jamie Hayter as they did. I think he kind of figured that, yes, the crowd is behind Jamie Hayter. Yeah, they're wanting Jamie Hayter. But after she wins the belt, we let her do some more heel things. She's still with Britt. They're going to still boo her. And I think that is where and likewise, like Damien said, during the Saraya and Britt feud, Britt had Saraya owned. Had, like you said, had that crowd turned. They turned on Saraya.
Like that.
And then if you watch that segment again, because I remember that segment. I remember in the group chat we were talking about this. I remember specifically saying, wow, that crowd was just hot for Saraya. Now they can't stand her. And I think from that point, they should have done the turn there. And I understand why Saraya's first match back, that place was going to cheer her regardless. And then you got a couple of boos, mixed in there, you could hear. But more and more, Britt was the heel, Saraya was the face. Now, I think what they're going to do, and it's funny because I saw someone else say this, and it's that they're going to do a AEW women's originals versus the non-AEW original women's team with, Saraya, Toni, whoever else who wasn't there from the beginning, in a sense. Especially with them turning Toni and Saraya heel, but it was lackluster. It was wonky. It seemed like, yes, this is supposed to happen now. It was more or less like, I guess because we're workers, we understand. You know how when a spot's coming and you can tell someone forgot their spot, and it's like, oh, they gotta go dig up. And you're like, oh crap, my spot, and they get up and they do whatever they got to do. That's what it felt like on my end. I'm not sure when you guys are watching it, but kind of when you watch it, it kind of felt like Saraya forgot what was her cue to come up to do her thing for the turn, and I think that as well kind of made it a little. And I think Sheeta coming out, what for me was confusing. I didn't expect Sheeta to turn that. I didn't expect him to turn her heel anytime, just because of the simple fact is that AEW fan base loves their Japanese women wrestlers.
Facts.
That is a crowd who loves Joshi. They love Japanese wrestling, point blank. You could have the most suckiest Japanese wrestler wrestle a paint can, and guess what? Those AEW marks will go, this is awesome. So I don't think they would have turned Hikaru Shida heel, but it's just, it was lackluster. They could have did so many other things to turn them heel, and I don't think it did Willow as well any favors.
No, it definitely helped. It helped. No, it didn't help Willow, right? But it definitely didn't hurt Willow.
And but also the Ruby, but the Ruby Soho coming in, and I get it. They teamed up. They teamed up last week, and they did that death match, and everyone loved it. I guess all of a sudden, friendships are forged in combat, right? Right.
Always. We know that. Yeah.
So I get that. I just, I would have rather not no one save Willow. Have, maybe tease that Hikaru Shida was going to help, but then, I like how Hikaru Shida said, you know what? I don't want no parts of this. I thought that was great. Having Hikaru Shida look at all this go on, and she's just like, yeah, nah, fam. I'm gonna take my little kendo stick and go back to catering. This ain't what I want.
She might got a little black in it.
Listen, she might, because you gotta look at her facial expression. If you watch her facial expression, was just like, nah, fam, this ain't it. Like,
Right? Like, nah, she on her own. Sorry about that.
nah, I didn't know they was about to go. She going, I didn't know they was going to do that, and I don't want to be a part of this. You not about to have me in hot water, and let me dip back up.
Which way is it to the ramp? Straight back? That's where I'm going.
The ramp is this way. Yeah.
Let me just grab this. Let me just grab my stick, and I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. There's a nice steak in the back that's calling my name on it.
Right. And I heard AEW has good. I heard they have good catering over there too. I mean, when you got Tony Khan's just a nice person to his little toys. So
Dang,
they should have drew it out like this heel turn if they were going to do it. I feel like it was just like too soon.
Yeah.
If they were going to do it, like they should have teased it a little bit more, but I don't know. Like AEW doesn't know how to tease anything.
No, everything is the best, worst kept secret.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just like they're like, "Oh, I like this. We're doing it tonight."
But funny thing is, that's the business. That's where wrestling is now.
Okay, but see, they're playing it like they're not on national TV with a weekly show. They're planning it like they do this once a month.
But again, that's wrestling now. I'm
getting old. I'm getting old.
The social media thing has really changed wrestling. We can probably debate that next week.
We should debate that next week.
We should, because
it's really a shift. And like, I didn't want to believe it, being as someone in the generation of the social media and wrestling. So I lived through that last bit of generation of where, yeah, the internet and wrestling, we can find out things, but I rather not. Whereas,
because you kind of had a choice because it's not thrown in your dang old face.
Correct. Whereas now,
thanks Amazon.
Whereas now, I get on Twitter and the first thing I see, hey, Rock's not ready for WrestleMania. Segue into our next segment. But yeah, I was like, what? I thought he was still coming. I would have rather just waited till the Rumble and not show up. You know?
Right. So, we'd be like, oh, Rock's not going to be there. Okay, cool.
And even then, we don't know if that's true or not. So,
right. That is true.
That. You know,
I think if anything, like, let's just segue into it, because I just want to, I do want to talk into that, because I think what I love about social media though is that like you can layer out all of that content and just be like, oh, The Rock's not ready, this, that, and the other, and you can give it to like your big guys, right? Like your Dave Meltzers or your, Sean Ross Sapps, right? And they'll put it out there, and everybody's gonna eat it up, and then guess what happens?
Yeah, Rock shows up. Yeah.
But you said they were going to be there.
It's clickbait.
We believed you.
Yeah, absolutely clickbait. But let's move on to that. Let's move on to our next topic. All right. So we just mentioned it. It was a report come out this week. I think was it Friday? It came out or Thursday?
Yeah.
It was Friday.
Yeah, one of those days.
Yeah, I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday. But Friday a report came out that Meltzer or was it Meltzer or was it Brian Alvarez? One of those two dudes. They know everything apparently. But one of them reported that Rock and WWE have already talked, and that Rock will not be at WrestleMania this year to face Roman Reigns due to the fact that he would not have enough time to be in shape to main event WrestleMania. So, with these reports being out, now this is all reports. We don't know for a fact. So do not, yell at us next Sunday after the Rumble when Rock shows up and gets in, Roman's face and goes, I'm not acknowledging you or nothing and all that. It's a report. We don't know. It's not confirmed. But if it is, what is the better match for WrestleMania? What's the better? No, what's Yeah, what's the better match? What's the match that should main event WrestleMania? Should it be Roman Reigns? I'm trying to figure out the right wording I want to put this. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, or is it Roman Reigns versus The Rock? These are the two names that has been thrown up since about what, October, really? I think since Cody.
At least.
Since Cody, I
Maybe
think
even before that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it's probably started even before, as far as I
Like
know.
when Cody showed up at
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, like we had the Rock conversation for literally since he became the tribal chief.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
And they just announced he was going to be in the Rumble. Cody himself said that. I don't know, man. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, the Rock thing has been going on since he became the tribal chief. The Rock talks, and I think, like you said, the Cody talks has been happening since about he came back. Definitely around October after the Hell in the Cell when he was out, and they were like, "Oh, he'll be back at the Rumble." Yeah. So this is my question, you all. We asked Twitter this question earlier before we went live as well, because I think this is very, very interesting because you could get. I think everyone's either one or the other. Really, there are some fans who want Roman Reigns and Cody to face off, and there are some fans who want The Rock and Roman Reigns to face off. So, what do you guys think? Go with you, Cliff. What do you got? What do you think?
I think for me, the better matchup is going to be Cody versus Roman, right? And the reason why I say that is because when you look at the aspect of like The Rock, he's always coming back, right? He comes back. How do you put it? The return on investment isn't there, right? It's just gradually getting smaller. So to invest in somebody like Cody, right, and have him be the guy that goes and takes on Roman at WrestleMania, I think will draw more eyes to the product because the ratings were going up as Cody was there. So to obviously lose him, then obviously everybody's like, well, now we're in anticipation. So as much as I would love to see like Dwayne come back and go to WrestleMania, I think give the fans what they want, let Cody be that person, and then go from there. Hold on. I have a comment that we got to put up here real quick. WWE has confirmed that he has been clear, but no word if he competes in the Royal Rumble. I mean, he'll probably get cleared to be in the Rumble too, Cody. And does he really have to do a lot? I mean, you can put him at the 30th entrant and just let him like do like and I know we just said earlier that that's not what we wanted, but you have him come in and just do like a quick 30-second spot where he just throws up the last person. He's still holding on to his pec. He's like, oh God, it's still messed up, guys, but I'm here for you, for the fans, for WrestleMania. And then he doesn't have to wrestle. He just legit just does promo spots until, WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll go next. We'll leave you last, Damien, for this one.
All right, bet.
I am... I thought long and hard about this one because being as I love The Rock. The Rock's my guy. I'm following his blueprint and everything on how he became this $1 billion success. So I'm a fan of The Rock. I've been a fan of Cody for a very long time. I would love to see Cody versus Roman Reigns, and I would die to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Like a family versus family. This is, like not tribal chief. I would love to watch that. Like that would make my day in Los Angeles at that. But WrestleMania in LA does not need The Rock. And I think a lot of people, since they announced that Hollywood was the location for this WrestleMania, from day one, people were saying, "Oh, The Rock, we need The Rock, we need The Rock. That's his city." It's not true. WrestleMania is going to sell out both nights without The Rock. They are going to sell out that stadium without The Rock. The Rock does not have to be on the card for that place to sell out. And I think, and a lot of people don't understand when people say, and someone, I think I don't know who said it, but someone had said, have you seen The Rock? What does he mean? He needs to get in shape. The Rock works out this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And people gotta understand, you can be in shape, but not be in ring shape. And all three of us know that very, very, very well.
Yeah, trust me. I know.
Like I think Damien's been out of the ring the longest, right? Damien's probably in shape right now, and I know for a fact Damien's is in shape. He's
I'm not in ring shape though.
Exactly. He's not in ring shape at all. That man could get in the ring right now and break his tibia.
Oh hell yeah, real quick. Pull a muscle.
Exactly. Pull something. Being in ring shape is completely different. Getting in that ring, taking those bumps. Listen, guys, the ropes are not comfortable. They look bouncy and everything, but them joints hurt.
Yeah, they do. Look, if I was lighter, I'd have bruises every time I stepped in that ring. Afterwards.
I've had rope bruises on my back. My wife looked at my back and goes, "What did you do? Get whipped by, and it's like, were you a slave?" Like, she legit had to ask, like, "Were you being whipped?" I go,
"Yeah, I mean, you get wells.
Irish whipped, yeah."
Right.
Not the whip that you think, but like, yeah, those ropes hurt. Hitting that mat, taking a bump hurts.
Oh, dude, that mat sucks.
Like,
especially if it's brand new and not broken in.
Right.
It's like hitting the ground.
I'll tell you straight up. Actually, as we're talking about that, let me share the story, right? So, not that I'm going to put this out there, it's nobody's fault, right? But the first show I worked this week, right? If you listen to the beginning, you'll hear it was the second time they got to break in their new ring, and so the wood is still really new. It hasn't been like hasn't had to give yet, and neither has the steel. So like hitting that, and I think I took like 6 big bumps. And man, I woke up the next morning and I was having trouble walking. I was like,
bet.
My body hurts. And then the following day, or not the following day, 2 days later, I'm in another place, right? And the ring ropes are they tied them as tight as they could, but they're still very loose. And the boards were all wonky. So I took a DDT, and as my opponent hits flat back, the board pops and smacks me in the face, and I swore I got concussed. I was like, bro, this hurts so much. Like, you have to understand that like every ring bounce is different, but if you do not have like if you are not in ring shape and being able to handle some of those bumps, bruh, it sucks.
It does. It does.
I'm sorry for laughing at that, but I pictured that. I pictured that, and it was funny. Yeah,
because it sucks.
Yeah,
like, you feel it, like boom, and I was like, I felt like Marv from like Home Alone, just smacked.
Oh,
I was like, oh god,
that's funny.
I was thinking about some kind of cartoon. Or Sideshow Bob getting hit with the rake all the time.
What is
stepping on the rake?
I was thinking.
Tom and Jerry. The Tom and Jerry joint. We're going.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing in cartoons. I will still laugh at that. But yeah, it's a thing of like he's not in ring shape, and he's got the XFL starting back up. Like he's he's in charge of a football league, guys. Like, yeah, he ain't got to worry about Warner Brothers because they didn't kick Black Adam out of everything, so he ain't got to worry about that. But just he owns a football league, and I think he's got a lot of other things. I think the match that we really need is the match with wrestlers who are wrestling on a consistent basis. For years, we have talked about the whole part-timer thing and WWE, relying on their part-time and their past stars to, in these big spots. When you got a slew of talent right there who can be in these spots. So as much as I like I said, I love The Rock. I would die to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, but I don't need to see it at WrestleMania this year. I don't, because I truly believe if you wait to do Cody and Roman later down the line, it's not going to hit the same.
Oh no, definitely, it's going to hit different.
It's not going to hit the same. Like having Cody win, if let's just say he is the one to dethrone Roman, ultimately he's the one to dethrone Roman. Having him dethrone Roman at like a SummerSlam, or is not going to hit like it's going to hit if he does it at WrestleMania. And of
Yeah.
course, you would want to do it at one of the big fours. So SummerSlam will be the next one. That's in August. So you're telling me I have to wait when I could have got him in March, and I gotta wait April, May, June, July. I gotta wait 4 months again just to see him. And nah, I don't think that would be wise for them. And I think that crowd is going to be. I think it's going to feel so much better seeing Cody walking down the ramp in the main event of WrestleMania, more than seeing The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania in LA after the fact of his career being, legitimately, as I say, over. So I'm going with Cody. Crazy enough, and I as you couldn't tell, I wore my Cody shirt, wrong company, but hey, still a Cody shirt. Still a Cody shirt. But yeah, I'm going with Cody and Roman this year for WrestleMania over The Rock. It pains me to say it though.
All right, so I'm gonna be selfish.
You going with The Rock? I knew it.
Oh no, nope. I'm gonna be super selfish.
Oh,
I want to see both. He got 2 championships. There's 2 nights.
you know what? The funny thing is,
give The Rock night 1. Give Cody night 2. Let Cody win the Rumble. Let him and Rock do something different. There you go. Get one of the championships off of Roman so Raw has a championship. Problem solved. So I'm going with both. I want to see both. Make Roman work.
I like the idea. I think let me caveat this, right? Because Roman's at this point now where like he doesn't need the title, right? He doesn't, right? The point of having the title is to like put it on, like get the next guy. I think, and hear me out because I know a lot of people can probably not agree with this, right? But you have Roman drop the titles on night 2 to Cody, but the head of the table, the tribal chief title, is what's on the line in night 1 against The Rock. So if he loses at night 1, right? He loses the tribal chief title. He now has to question himself going into night 2 about does he deserve to be the champion, which obviously throws him off his game. He loses to Cody. He drops the titles. And now guess what? Now we have to rebuild this whole tribal chief. We have to rebuild everything back up for Roman. I like the idea of having both, but I think that'd be the coolest way to do that.
That would be a cool way too. Like that would make good story. I was just saying in general, like if they want to separate the belts again, like that's an easy fix. They're already doing it with the Usos right now with the 2 tournaments, right?
yeah, they are.
So like why not? Like on the real, why not?
Well, that was an accident. The Usos holding both belts wasn't like the initial plan. I know that. Because they got hurt. RK Bro got Randy Orton got hurt, and then Matt Riddle out here doing cocaine and stuff.
That's my boy.
I knew he was going. I said that.
That's my boy.
I specifically said that so you could make that that reaction. Like that's my boy.
Yo, Riddle, give me a call, yo. I got you.
I knew you.
If you come out here, you won't get bothered by the cops. I promise.
Oh my goodness!
It's nothing but rich white folk. Utah, hit me up, bro.
Hey man, that's why Post Malone moved out there.
Facts.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, it is peaceful out here. It might be snow right now, but it looks beautiful. It's quiet. Y'all always hear that it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
Yeah, from where you used to be. Yeah, we used to hear everything.
Look, I'll put it like this: when they have football games at BYU, which is probably a good 8 miles, 10 miles, maybe further, you can hear them cheering.
That's perfect
from here.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, the only thing with the 2, with Cliff and what you said, the thing of Rock beating Roman at this point now, I think at least with no return match with no rematch, I think is just a shot in the foot for them.
No, it would be. Like, now, if you're gonna have a return match,
that's your biggest heel. That's your biggest heel for legitimately 2 years, and you
or a little bit longer than that.
and he hasn't been pinned. And you kill all that by the man like The Rock, who hasn't wrestled since he tore his pelvis against John Cena in New York 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago. I would be floored. I would have a fit. Basura, boo, tomatoes. No. No, if you bring cousin Dwayne back, he comes back and he take an L. There is
if there's not going to be a second match.
Yeah, unless
he's got to take that out. He's got to take that out.
Absolutely. If there's not, if it's just Rock and Reigns, period, nothing else the next night. Okay, fine, I'll give it to you. You can give him that. You can give him that. You can give Roman that L, and it's fine. But if you do that twice, he lost to Rock, and then the next night you want him to lose to Cody and both belts. Whoa, he just lost 2 days in a row after having been pinned. Yeah, nah, fam, nah. Roman better go. All righty, Tony. Where do I sign?
Well, this is why I said.
Where do I sign, Mr. Khan? And I mean Tony, not Nick.
Well, this is what I said. That's why I said you have both belts on the line on night one on night 2.
That's fine.
And
I can get
let him. I say really let him beat Rock, retain the Universal Championship, and lose the WWE Championship to Cody. Night 2.
And then they're gonna have to do that rematch at Backlash.
Because this is the reason why I say this: the WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, WrestleMania Backlash.
So, like, it would mean more the fact that, all right, so now he just beat The Rock, secured his tribal chief status, and now he's going in this with full confidence, and Cody beats him. That'll knock him down a peg regardless.
Yeah.
So, and then I feel like that's still, you have 2 top tier champions on each show, but you have a champion that's in self-doubt now.
Yeah.
That's possibly easy for the picking at any freaking time. And then you get Money in the Bank coming up and you catch Roman slipping.
Are they still doing Money Bank separately, or are they doing Money in the Bank at WrestleMania?
So from my understanding,
it's in the O2. It's in the O2. It's in London this year.
They're actually doing it. They decided to keep it as its own entity, which I'm actually happy they did. Like, I'm happy
for the title. Let's go.
And it's in London too. And it's in London too. So
and that crowd will be fired. That London crowd.
That London crowd's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Especially if Wade Barrett wins Money in the Bank. Let's go. I'm just gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna put it out there. WWE, Wade Barrett for the win.
Please don't.
Actually, you know what? Let's not. Let's be real. Gunther for the belt.
Okay, I can live with that. See, that I can live with. That I can get with. I can get behind. I feel like Wade needs to just chill.
Now watch this. I'll watch this, and then we're gonna move on. Gunther wins it, right? Wins Money in the Bank, and he loses his cash in. Y'all know it. Y'all know they'll do that. Y'all know it's not beyond them. Vince, Triple H, or anybody. I don't care who's running it. You know WWE. That is not above them to do that. Have Gunther win that Money in the Bank briefcase. He holds it for a while. He drops the IC title. And then when he cashes in, fails. And all y'all are going to be in a...
Mad. Angry.
Hey, but guess what, though?
Right.
Still not worse than the United States cash-in.
Correcto mundo.
That right there will be number one. There's no other way to... Yeah, like, it's done, and if you try to, you can't recreate that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, because remember when Otis won it, and they really didn't know what they wanted to do with him, and they were like, "Oh, maybe we'll just have him cash in on the tag titles." That would have been a way better suggestion than being like, hey man, we'll cash this in on the secondary title. Like,
Right.
huh? Even like it would have been a better swerve if Austin Theory would have like, let's say like we'll use Randy Orton, right, for an example, right? And Randy's hurt, okay? And the Usos just continue to beat down, and then Austin cashes in, rolls up Riddle, and pins him for the 3 count, and then goes and finds himself like another tag partner. That would have been a better movement than just him doing the way he did it. Like,
Agreed.
And the messed up part about it is, even if it was successful, it still would have been like, oh,
huh? You could have
I was like, what?
cashed in on Roman still. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Like at this point, he could have kept it, won the U.S. title back, and then cashed in on Roman at WrestleMania,
right.
or even Royal Rumble. Sheesh, they could have. That poor guy.
Could have
I
cashed
like
it
what he's
in
doing
on
now.
Dwayne the next night of Raw. Think
Yeah,
about
he
the
coulda.
biggest heel moment, right? Or think about like let's say
Yeah.
Rock wins the Universal title, right? Let's just say, and on Friday night, the Rock comes out and he's like, yeah, like this is what happens, and then Roman comes out and beats down. Yeah, and then here comes Austin. He cashes in on the Rock and wins. Like, that's the biggest heel moment ever. Like, people are gonna explode about that. You mean the Great One just got beat by Theory? Really?
And he got his Austin back.
Yeah. Oh, and then now it's the guy who cashed in on the United States champ and didn't win.
Not even, and it makes matters even funnier. It's like you didn't even do it for the Intercontinental Championship.
Right.
Right. Now he did it for the
little
US
bit.
belt. Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right, what's next?
It's your segment. What grinds Damien's gears? Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Damien.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a graphic that legit just goes AEW. That's it.
Right.
Because we already know that's what it's gonna be. It's not like he's ever gonna be like, oh, you know what grinds my gears this week? Impact. No, it's always, I'm just gonna put out there, Tony
I like Impact.
Khan. You know?
But I like Impact though. That's the.
All right, you ready, Damien?
Damien,
what grinds your gears this week?
What grinds my gears is all right. So this is going to be a little bit of a sad thing.
Oh, okay.
But it also, I'm really legitly angry about this.
All right, I'm all ears.
I am angry with Tony Khan for not growing a set of balls and putting the Briscoes on AEW television.
Oh.
When you had a gold mine. You could have had the biggest angle in AEW between FTR and the Briscoes, and you dropped the ball.
Well,
ruined it.
You know why they couldn't.
No. He should have grown some balls and be like, I'm making you money. We're putting him on TV.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I understand the idea that you have, and I understand why you're angry. But I'm gonna be honest, like contractually, like they could have just dead ass. Oh yeah, you want to put the Briscoes on? Canceled. That's Dynamite.
It would have been
like legitimately,
That's
right? Like legit, like Warner Brothers would have been like, "Oh, hey, it's Wednesday night. You know what that means." We're sorry to interrupt this program.
Here's yesterday's basketball game, and you guys already know what's gonna happen.
Legit. Or better yet, you know what they would have did? No, it's TBS. They would have put the replay of Impractical Jokers on.
They would have been like, "Hey, here's 4 episodes of The Big Bang Theory."
No. So yeah, I with you. I agree. They should have.
Oh my God, he should have figured something out, yo. He should have figured something out. No,
that's why this is your segment. That's why this is your segment.
Did not try hard enough. I don't care what. No. So many people he has had on that television that he should have not had on that television, and you telling me, No. I cannot let him live this down. Like, this is one of these things. Like, if I met this man, I don't care if you don't agree. I'm sticking by my
I understand your
guns.
frustration. I
Yes.
understand your frustration.
He
'Cause,
should have figured.
like,
He should have figured this shit out. He
yeah,
should
that's
have
what it.
figured it out.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Like,
I agree,
don't-
but
like,
I'm just saying at the same point, like you got to think about like, listen, like I agree with you that Briscoe should have been on TNT and TBS, but like this is like the part where it's really gonna kind of sting on my part to say this: is every job at AEW that's being paid for by TNT and TBS and Warner Media Brothers, is every one of those guys' jobs at AEW worth to talent? Like I don't want to sound like that guy, but like I love the Briscoes, right? And RIP to Jay, right? But like, is it like, do you really risk running all those people right out because you're like, I'm gonna stick to my guns with Jay and Mark? Like I love them, but in a business sense, even they would tell you that don't make sense.
Still should have tried. I don't think he tried hard enough. I guess that's my issue. My issue is I don't think he tried hard enough.
There it is. Boom. There's Damien's grind. That's what grinds his gears. Tony Khan didn't try hard enough. There it is.
Yeah, no, he didn't try hard enough. Like, I feel like it was one of those things like, hey, I want to put these guys on TV. No, you're not. All right, cool. I think it was that. I don't think it was like, but and then like really try. I feel like he just was just like, all right, bet.
So let me put this back up here, right? And I'm gonna read this out loud, right? So we don't know the whole story, right? Maybe they didn't want to be on maybe they didn't want to go to AEW. That's not entirely true. There have been a lot of speculations about them wanting to be back on AEW, but TNT and TBS legitimately Warner Brother Media, because of some stuff that Jay had tweeted out back in like 2011 and 2013, allegedly, right? But stuff that he had also apologized for. That's why they said no. That's why they
I know, and
no.
it's a stupid ass reason.
It is, because there's a lot of people that said a lot of them. It's like they're not the same. They weren't the same person like 10 years ago, right? So
but my thing is this: there's a lot of people in Warner Media that shouldn't have a job because of the horrible stuff that they've done. Right? It's like literally they're throwing stones at glass houses.
That's a whole conversation. Yeah, I mean, Warner Brother Media is still going with Ezra Miller as their Flash, and that man, and he's a psycho. So that conversation of there's people in there that don't need to be working. Yeah, that's a whole conversation in and of itself.
We're talking about the same. Not that this is wrestling related, but we're talking about the same studio that their director, right? Their child drowned. They went to go take care of family business, and they brought in Joss Whedon to do the rest of the Justice League movie. Like that's the kind of people that's there. And it was god awful. Like, yo, you changed so much, and you brought in Joss Whedon, who told people allegedly, we don't like the 3 Count Podcast, allegedly told people, if you don't do what I say, I will ruin your career. That's what was said. Like,
you sound like the person that do that.
That's the same company. That's the same company that was like, yo, we don't want Jay, but we'll have this guy who overpowers everybody. Like, stop it. Get him out of here. That's what I'm saying. Though.
He didn't try hard. I don't think Tony tried hard enough. At the end of the day, yo, Tony, you ain't got no balls. You a bitch. Let's just call it. All right, son. Like
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Warner Brothers. Y'all are some punk ass bitches for not letting the Briscoes get on TNT. That's what I'm
they are.
Say.
No, and they are too. I agree.
I'll never be on AEW now because I said that. Thanks, guys. You brought it out to me.
I never said it. Never said it. Never said that.
Look,
never said that. Mr. Khan, I understand the predicament that you were in. I never said that. The words that are expressed here by other people on this show are not mine. They don't express my values or cores.
I got Tony's back.
I'm going to start putting it at the beginning of the show.
Look, the point being is, though,
this may be Chaz and friends, but that is the friends. That's the friends.
Let me get to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. I can. WB at some point says, you know what? Red Dog says some disparaging things about us for Warner Bros. Entertainment. I don't want them on. I don't want Red Dog on TNT or TBS. So be it. Put me on Ring of Honor because I've got Tony's back. I agree that you should have fought harder, but I understand contracts say what they say. But I understand. So that's why I was like, hey, a business decision. I 100% agree with what Tony did. Warner Brothers can't agree with you.
But
Look. At the end of the day, Tony, you can still hire me. I'll still help you out. You're still a dumbass.
with that being said, if you you made it to the end of the show, you made it this far, you get my PlayStation users, you get a platinum trophy. My Xbox users, you get an achievement. I love it. I love this show. I love it. Oh man, I love it. Thank you for checking this episode of Chaz and Friends, the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. If you haven't already done so, follow us on your favorite social media platforms. It's up there at the top of the screen. Buy a shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees /3 Count Pod. Because it might not be there next week. I promise. I'm probably telling another lie. It might be here next week, but it might not. So you never know. It might be on another site. Just buy a shirt. It's going to get there sooner or later, guys. I promise. So buy a shirt now before you go up on their website and you're like, hey, where's it at? I told you it wasn't going to be there this week, and it's going to be on For Your Wear. So definitely get one now. Follow us on follow each of us except for Damien. He doesn't want your follow. He doesn't even have social media.
Do not follow me. I do, but it ain't for
No, don't
people.
tell them that. Don't tell them that. So now
No, I wait. Yeah, and I hope they try. I hope they try.
Follow me at Chaz _ the Don. Follow Red Dog at Red Dog 85. Oh, we didn't talk about Now Into the Ring. I realize we totally skipped that. But check out what's coming up on Now Into the Ring this week, please. There are interviews coming out. This show was going great. Now it went off the rails because Damien's gears are always grinding, and now the gears have just fell completely off the hinges. I'm the Don Chaz Evans, all right? That's the Red Dog. That's the Dark Lord. In the name of Chaz, the Don, and the Grappital region, you better tune in to the next episode of Chaz and Friends, and you just better be there. And you know what? Go Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
Fuck Cowboys.
Cowboys playing